lost or stuck in life? Maybe you're facing a tough business decision. Maybe you're in a relationship that seems to be going nowhere and you're just not sure what to do. Or perhaps you're going through a major life-changing transformation and need some guidance. There's no reason to face life's obstacles alone. Mari Rose is a life intuitive, author, and teacher, helping to bring new light to your rapidly changing world. She's here for you to channel guidance to assist you in navigating your daily life with a renewed sense of clarity, empowerment, and joy. For a personal reading with Mari Rose, call her at 702-807-6495. That's 702-807-6495. Or you can visit her on the web at mari-rose.com.
Welcome to Change Your Layers, Change Your Life, your home for learning about an enlightened approach to self-awareness and the art of higher consciousness. Now here's your host, Mari Rose.
Welcome back to Change Your Layers, Change Your Life. Most of you know that I'm intuitive and I help people kind of channel and guide them through life situations, things, transitional changes, maybe find some inner joy and happiness, maybe asking that burning question that you've always wanted to hear or want to know. So that's what I do, and I have also written a book called Change Your Layers, Change Your Life. And it's also inspired this wonderful show that we're here producing at the Thunderbird with George Carson. I have a dear friend. Today's a special, very, very special show because I have a dear friend. She's been going through a lot. And a lot what I do is I try to help people with transitional changes in a very psychological kind of manner in order for them to heal, in order for us, all of us to heal, because we're in that process of the collective energy. We are collective energy. And if one person heals, then we all do. So it's very important to help each other. It's very important to help one another and for us to grow emotionally, mentally, and to kind of see some clarity. So my dear, dear friend, her name is Tina, and she is on the line. And we're just going to have a discussion today about what has been transpiring in her life, maybe some emotionals up and down, maybe some happy times. I don't know, whatever she wants to ask. So it's informal. So Tina, are you there, my dear?
I'm here, Mari.
Hi, Tina. Now, today we're going to have a very special show. I know you've been going through a lot. There's been a lot that's been going on this weekend and maybe in the last few years. You have some challenges with children and life situations. We all go through that. And I think today's times, it's a big change. We're going through a lot of emotion. We're going through a lot of process. We're trying to figure out what we need to do and how we need to do it, just because the new paradigm is shifting. It's about balancing our energies, our feminine and masculine. Doesn't mean that male and female. It means balancing the heart energy. It's about balancing also the intuition, the diplomacy that we have, that we're not necessarily had to do, but now we're kind of forced to do. And so we're all feeling that. I'm also feeling that. People are getting sick. Some of us are getting a little bit tired. Some of us are feeling the emotion we haven't felt in a long time. So share with me what you've been going through, my dear.
In years, sorry, and there's been changes.
Never mind.
They've been tough changes, but some things have changed for the good. And we just believe at this point it's just the emotional of everything coming up from the present to the past. And it's just a matter of trying to organize all those thoughts and emotions that have been stuck. And I guess at this point I just don't know at what point my heart heals.
At what part? I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit difficult. Say that again, that last.
At what part that your heart will heal?
It depends on how you allow it to heal, because I had a client that came to me, and this is a perfect example. She had broken up with this man, and she was devastated. So I guess what happened to her about 3 years later, she says, I can't believe that I was holding on to that much pain for that long period of time. because she said it was a foolish thing to do, is to allow myself to carry this much pain. This man, took my money, he broke my heart, he took everything that I had. So it depends on how we allow our hearts to heal, whether we're transitioning ready or we want to hold on to the pain. A lot of times we have the ego doesn't allow us because it's part of our conditioning, it's part of what we're doing. How can I let go of this pain, because it's very familiar? And with you, it seems like that you have ownership towards it. It seems like that you have some type of place in your heart that's, that you want to hold on to that pain. Why do you want to hold on to that pain? Because it's yours, because you feel like you deserve it in some way. And whatever may have happened, we don't deserve any of it, but we live through the experience. And if you live through the experience, then that's what you're here to experience, because it's part of our growth. And with you, I think you are still taking ownership of it. Why do you think that you still own it? Why do you think you still deserve it? Why do you think deserve the pain?
It's not just one particular thing. It's a collective of many different pains that I see has been caused. I don't even want to say caused, but it was because of an action that I've taken that those things happened that were wrong. And so it's many years of holding on to, knowing through my gut feeling that if I would have made a different choice, that there's a good possibility those things would have happened.
As mothers, we hold on, and not only as mothers, but I know as a mother, just like you are, and even men and children, we all hold on to guilt. And we all hold on to a lot of guilt. Why do we hold on to guilt? Is because we have a lot of judgment to ourselves. If I could have done something better, if I wouldn't have taken this action, you and I do not fall far from the same tree as far as the pain and the things that we've experienced. A lot what we've been going through is very similar. And I know your soul, because I'm starting to discover mine, and I'm not too sure of mine as well, but it's through the processes of evolution, excavation, that we go through that. And why do we still feel that we need to judge ourselves in that emotional state? Why do we think that we need to do that? Because it's something I'm familiar with. If I'm judged, if I berate myself, and if I don't like myself, then I'm judged. And then someone judges me, and then they think that I'm less than, or then I have to, then I don't want to have to necessarily feel the pain behind the judgment. So I will keep myself into that guilty state that I'm in, because I'm judging myself. If someone looks at me different, then does that make sense to you? Am I making sense?
Yes, because as long as I see all my faults, no one can hurt me by saying something.
But it's only our illusion. It's only our perception of ourselves that anyone's looking at us. Because I don't know if I met up with you on the streets and I saw you don't have a story that's attached to your forehead. You don't have a recording that I can listen to of what may have happened in the past. So all that I'm seeing is this beautiful being that I know, Tina, and it's you, and I see your radiance, and I see your beauty, and I know nothing from the past, but you have those secrets in your head, and you have those feelings, the judgment that you have. And when you do that, you're only judging yourself, because I don't see it, nor do your family, and we forgive. I mean, family forgives, and sometimes they don't. Well, that's their issue. That's another issue, but but that's okay. Because a lot of times I see my mother and the way she treated us, and there was a big family, and certain siblings, still judge her for whatever she may have done. She hit me when I was 13 years old. So, but what can you do? The parent is frustrated, and there's the same thing that you're going through. It's the same thing of trying to let go, so that way you can move forward, because you're stuck. And if you keep constantly putting yourself back into that little grave you've built for yourself, you're never going to evolve. That's what universe right now is trying to tell you. The universe is trying to tell you, hey, Tina, come on. We've experienced this before. We've done this before. I'm judging myself for whatever may have happened with my family. And if you don't pull yourself out of it, you're still going to be in it, or you're going to create some catastrophic type of situation, or something that happens that's so profound that people are like, what happened? And you're a clear person. You're smart. You're grounded. And the things that you may do out of reaction are not natural to you, or nor natural to them in seeing you this way. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's very true.
Yeah. So
and that's really what happened this past weekend.
Yeah, because you're going through this state. It's almost like, oh my gosh, I can't handle the stress. But the only one that's placing stress in you is you. The children have moved on, and they have their own life. But they also needed a mother, or they also needed your husband, or whomever you may. And I know who we're talking about, the children. They needed someone to not be absent for a period of time, because they had to find themselves. And they also needed absence from you so they can be more spiritually evolved, because that's what they came here onto this planet to experience. A parent that wasn't maybe not present during a certain period of time, or not available, or whatever may have happened. Because I want to experience a parent that was not available in order for me to grow spiritually, emotionally, mentally. And they're also going through that evolution right now. We just haven't caught up. They haven't caught up with that. And they are. They're moving forward. But I also sense and feel like you've experienced guilt from the past. It feels like there's a lot of guilt that you've experienced, not once or twice, but multitudes of times. And it's part of your energy that comes here to experience that. I believe reincarnation. And in reincarnation, it says that if I haven't learned my lesson in one lifetime, that I come back karmically to experience it again in a bigger and a larger way, in a more guilt. If I'm dying and I'm on my deathbed and I say, I haven't fed the hungry kids in the world, and so you die with that desire, and then you come back into this lifetime and you experience hunger, or you're able to feed the hungry children, or you yourself are hungry, whatever may happen in this next lifetime, you experience it in a larger way. So that's what you're experiencing now. That's why it also becomes overwhelming. We're also going through a lot of change. So that's what you're experiencing in a very dynamic way. If you know, the best thing behind all this is that you can say, wow, I left when I did whatever I did, because you left your family, and when I did that for me, and I went through that growth, and now I feel guilty for it, or what may have occurred. What was it there for me? Okay, I learned independence. I learned how to voice my opinion. I learned to be free. But then we keep braiding ourselves further and further down, because it's comfortable for us. It's like a little martyr. I keep whipping my back. Remember that? Remember how you see that in the religious symbols, where the martyr keeps, pounding themselves, whipping themselves in the back. So I think that's part of that process that you're going through, that martyr kind of energy, and it's because we don't feel the love in ourselves. And this is what's interesting, because my son came to me and he was angry, and I swear I felt terrible. He just went from one end to the other, and I sat there, and I showed him nothing, and I sent him love from my heart, and it diffused him. And that's what our energy does. Because then he sat down, he calmed down, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and we went on with our day. So that's what energy does. We're nothing but the collective energy. We're encapsulated in this physical form, but we project energy to other people. We project energy as we walk into the room. So the more open our hearts are, the more we come in to change other people's life. So what you're doing is you're stopping the process of not only your healing, but also the healing of your children and your family in the situations that you may have experienced in the past. The situation is so strong that they are having difficulty because you're the model. You're the parent that's showing them how to heal. And if they don't have the tools, how will they heal? The best thing from my suggestion is for you to start to really feel the love that you have for yourself. Okay, I messed up. I created a situation. I feel really guilty about it. But that's okay. My kids are okay, or my family's all right. My situation's okay, and I can move through it. I feel guilty again, and the guilt comes back, and you feel it one more time, and you do the same thing. And you go, okay, I recognize this pain. This is guilt. Oh, okay, how did it serve me? It really put me into a shell. It really helped me, kind of helps identify myself. Because that's all I've been dealing with is guilt right now, or this judgment that I have for myself. And then every time it comes up, oh, I recognize this pain. What is this? What's this about? Oh, we're still peeling that onion. We're still peeling that layer. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so that I think when you start to do that, it's going to really help you kind of transition and change versus it being something so heavy in your life that it paralyzes you. And because we often said, now you have the I guess it would be the responsibility, and I hate to use that word because that's a very heavy word here, but you have the responsibility to show how you can heal, and you can do that to also and reflect that with your parents. You can, with your parents or your children, mirror that image, and in doing so, the other people will heal. What happens, and I've seen people come in, and you can really feel their energy, and it's because they have that open heart, where they know that if they don't heal themselves, how will the collective energy and the people around them also heal? Because that's what you're here to do, is you're here to give the love, and you're here to heal in that very emotionally spiritual way where you can be an example. It's your responsibility, and if you don't, there's going to be another situation that takes you and draws you back into what you've been in the past. Do you want to continue to experience that?
No, it's been too many years.
I see big changes possibly coming in one. Oh, I hear numbers. It's a day, a week, a month, a year, January. And I see you say to yourself, I'm sick of it. And then you go back. It's almost like you're dieting, and there's a big old tray of beautiful desserts and foods on the table, and you're like, I'm sick of being overweight. But then you go back and you keep looking, and you keep picking through that dessert tray, and you go, no, I'm sick of it. I can't do it anymore. And you keep going back. It's almost like a little bungee cord that takes you back. Let's see. Let's see if there's a trigger point in. But you're also taught as you're growing up guilt. I see it in your family and how you're brought up. There's a lot of guilt. You be good, be seen and not heard. I'm just using that as a lame analogy. Or the feeling of, we don't have, don't ask. Or you have to share because there's too many of you. These are just small examples if you get what I'm trying to tell you.
Yes.
Okay, so I see that there's a lot of guilt. So guilt is very familiar to you. So now you're bridging the guilt aspect of when you were brought up as a child, and now you're still engaging it and you're still concerned with it. Concern is a very big topic because I'm concerned about gaining weight. I'm concerned about not being a good mom. I'm concerned about, protecting myself with white light, whatever the concern is, and it becomes you. You become so fixed, like people that go in and do these little clearing, these statements to get rid of, whatever they're getting rid of. They're so concerned with it that they engage themselves back into the emotion, back into the illness, back into whatever that they're going into. So the best thing to deal with it is to no longer concern yourself with what you're going through, because the concern is just an ego-based, an illusionary kind of thought. I have to be perfect. I have to be good. I have to be a good mom. How could I have been a bad mom? How could I have been a bad person? How could I have done that? You see how we concern ourselves? See that little monkey in the wheel? It keeps going around and around and around. Does that make sense? Yeah.
It does. The funny part about all of that is I feel throughout my whole life the only one thing that I was able to accomplish and do correctly was being a good mom. But
you were a good mom. That's
yes, I was.
You are still a good mom. You're caring. You're loving. You got the most amazing energy. I just love you. Let's see. It's about the judgment that you have. Also, a lot of feeling of judgment here. Although I'm a good mom, but although I'm a good parent, but although I'm a good worker, but I feel like that there's a lot of, you put an obstacle course right in the middle of your path. Okay. You have to start to clear, you have to come to terms with what you've experienced. I needed to feel judgment. I needed to feel guilty. Why do you need to feel guilty and judged? Because you're going to start to heal the energy in the collective energy. All of us feeling guilty. We're all feeling we're not good enough. It's coming in so strong with you is that you have to do that so that when you can shine, you can burst through like a dam, through a dam that's bursting through the concrete. The water's gushing out, and it's so prominent in you that you're trying to gush through that concrete in order for you to shine. So your function here on this earth plane is to transcend all that judgment and guilt that you have for yourself so we can all heal. My situation is different. People that are ill are trying to get better so that we can all heal that collective energy. That's a big responsibility, but it really helps you understand what consciousness is and how we affect one another. And it's about you having to work on yourself because your children will work on the judgment and the guilt they have of themselves and the judgment they have in the relationship that they have with others. And your friends will no longer feel judgment of you because you walk around with a big shroud saying, oh, look, judgment, guilty. Oh. Okay. You're so pretty. How can you walk that way? Now start asking questions, specific questions.
Yeah, I can see that. I have some more decisions to make are again life changing, and it takes me back to my past far back to my past of making this decision that I've made in the past, and I feel that how the outcome is going to be.
Well, you will move into, I hear numbers, it's 2 days, weeks, months, years, February, or next year. Oh, I hear the numbers. And will you be happy? And I hear yeah. I hear yes or no or yeah, which is in my middle of the road kind of answer, which is you might not type of thing. But the thing that I am feeling is that you'll be happy wherever you are, wherever you go, as long as you've cleared the emotion, you've cleared the energy of the guilt in the situation that you're in. Does it get you closer to the lesson that you've learned in that environment? I hear yes. And maybe that's one of the reasons why you need to go there in certain ways. But if you were here and you couldn't go there, you would have to still work on the same energy. Now, are you going to be totally happy there? I hear no. It may be the same environment or the same mental, not confusion, because now we've clarified that, the same emotion that you're going there with. So you have to just be really careful, because will it make it better by moving somewhere else? Not always. Okay, so start to clear the energy now, and then that way when you start to move into a new place or new environment, it's going to be easier for you to shift and change. Will you eventually find inner happiness? I hear yes, it's coming. It's coming. But you're in that process of, it's like it's that dam that's ready to break, and that water's really pushing through that dam, and you're like, and you're exploding, you just don't know what to do with it. You're like, oh, it's cracking, there it is. So does that, yeah, that,
It's definitely a lot of emotions that I haven't had for 15 years.
And you really start working on it now, whatever may be happening for you, and if you don't, then you're still going to carry the same burden, the same heaviness into a new environment, new place. And let's not do that, because you're a light worker. You're here to guide other people, and it's part of maybe starting as simple as guiding your children, and then helping your family, because they want to see you well, they want to see you in balance, they want to see you that you're healthy, and you have ambition, and they have a little sad heart right now, because they want your well-being, and it's important for you to do that, just because you're here to help others, and it's not, and the process is starting with you first. Okay, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
Okay, my dear. Well, I think we're almost out of time, and I'm going to send love to you from open my heart, and send that to you, and I hope you feel it, and I love you dearly, my newfound friend, and next time we'll have to have you on the radio show, and with my heart to yours, I send you my love, Tina, and change your layers, change your life. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Mari. Bye-bye.
Do you ever feel lost or stuck in life? Maybe you're facing a tough business decision. Maybe you're in a relationship that seems to be going nowhere, and you're just not sure what to do. Or perhaps you're going through a major life-changing transformation and need some guidance. There's no reason to face life's obstacles alone. Mari Rose is a life intuitive, author, and teacher, helping to bring new light to your rapidly changing world. She's here for you, to channel guidance to assist you in navigating your daily life with a renewed sense of clarity, empowerment, and joy. For a personal reading with Mari Rose, call her at 702-807-6495. That's 702-807-6495. Or you can visit her on the web, Mari, M-A-R-I, -rose.com.